This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today as we get set up to talk about this wonderful hockey team we call the Edmonton Oilers that we are all fans of, because let me tell you, they are a great group of individuals, and practice today absolutely showed that. We talked a bit ago sometime during the season about how this team really wasn't a team, and today we're going to talk about how this team really is a team and potentially unstoppable because of that. But before we get going too far, friends, we got game one on Wednesday night, and what I need you to do right now is please take a moment and consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. I want you aboard for the coverage. I want you aboard for the live streams. I want you aboard for the whole rest of the playoffs. Hopefully not a wreck. No wrecks here. We're going to win a Stanley Cup. That's what I'm promising you. Hopefully. Come on. Let's get it done. But I want you aboard for the rest of the playoffs and, of course, into the off season as well, as we get set to do this all over again next year. Anyway, friends, if I could kind of stop making fun of myself and move on to the actual reason you're here, that's what we should do. As the Edmonton Oilers today at practice kind of gave Kyler Yamamoto the star treatment. And I mean, Yamamoto's been getting the star treatment from his friends for the past little bit. Obviously, this team has come together very heavily over the past 4 or 5 months and really put in a great effort to get where they are going into Wednesday, game one, round two against the Vegas Golden Knights. Yamamoto pushed into the center of the pile at practice to lead stretches, and then the team starts firing pucks at him, just enjoying the moment, right? This is the best thing I have seen so far from practice in the playoffs. We're not talking about a player possibly being injured. We're not talking about, I don't know who's starting tonight. No, we're talking about the most likable player on the ice for the Oilers in terms of just the little engine that could, right? I mean, for a lot of people, I think they cheer against Yamamoto because that just seems to be the thing to do with a guy his size. That seems to be the thing to do with a guy that doesn't necessarily always produce or doesn't necessarily always put up the best results because of one thing or another. But I think the one thing I really love about Kyler Yamamoto is he just goes out there no matter what and still puts in the effort to stay in the NHL day in, day out. And obviously, too, this year it was a very tough go for Kyler Yamamoto. A very up and down season. Injuries were there, points weren't at times, goals weren't, and missing open nets. And then goes into this playoff series. The expectations really aren't there, right? Everyone's saying he's too small to play in the playoffs. He's not going to be able to last the full playoffs. He's going to get beat up. And then all of a sudden he's in the top six, kind of invisible, gets bumped down out of the top six, goes into the bottom six, bottom five, I guess, and somehow comes up to game six and the series hero, winning it for us in that aforementioned game six. So, right, it's kind of one of those things. Playoff hockey is a whole different animal. It's a whole different beast, and it's kind of funny how it all plays out for a guy like Kyler Yamamoto. And the best part here is his teammates know how much this goal meant to him, right? The Edmonton Oilers are not going to be shy about making sure he knows how much he is appreciated for firing that shot, fooling Jonas Korpisalo, and scoring the biggest goal of the series to send us home. Still not home. Probably won't be home until Saturday. Well, anyway, with the series victory, right? Now we'll go 2 games against Vegas before we get home, but it's another question, and then we won't worry about that too much. But for the Oilers, the reason I'm bringing this up, right? There's a million and one things I could have talked about today. There's a million and one things that we do need to cover this week before getting into the Vegas series, and we'll try and do that tomorrow. But I just really wanted to touch base on something I talked about way back in, I want to say December, where you might remember a couple of videos I did with those black background thumbnails, red and white text, and a player cutout with a arrow. You might remember those ones. Those were pretty, I guess, in terms of what I've done over the course of my Oilers stuff, pretty provocative in terms of just going out there and getting the clicks. Clickbaity, I guess, is the term. Kind of getting out there and causing a stir and really not saying anything too off the beaten path, but just grabbing attention and bringing you in. Well, the best part is that video served purpose, right? That was not just me going out there and trying to get you to click. That video, the Edmonton Oilers are not a real team. That video served purpose because at that point the Oilers were not fighting for each other. They weren't rolling line after line with the same common purpose. The Oilers weren't going out there and doing the things that a successful team does. That was prior to, of course, the turn of the year in 2023 where the crazy run went on and the Oilers just absolutely demolished it. And here we are in game 1 of round 2 on Wednesday. But then all of a sudden, the Seattle series happens, or the Seattle game at the end of 2022 happens, Klim Kostin, the fight, all that. And then, yes, indeed, you've got that LA Kings game back there on that road trip through California where the Oilers came alive, won 6 straight games with Jack Campbell in net. It was a whole thing. There was a time that we thought Jack Campbell was going to save the season. And didn't turn out that way, but hey, you know what? He saved our bacon here in round 1. But right, this whole team goes through this, and as much as the team succeeded down the stretch, is Kyler Yamamoto never quite found that full form that we saw way back in his rookie year, right? He's still dealing with things, still trying to battle through. And there was a time in that stretch of hockey where this is a Jesse Puljujarvi jersey for those of you that don't know, but there was a time Kyler Yamamoto was almost more likely to be traded than Jesse Puljujarvi was prior to the NHL trade deadline this year. And the best part is the Oilers stick by Yamamoto, stick by the draft pick, right? First rounder, guy that we've drafted and developed through Bakersfield, through the Oilers system and into the NHL, into a full-time NHL player. And this team gets the best reward you could possibly get in that investment, scoring the series-winning goal and sending you off to round 2 against the Vegas Golden Knights. That is Kyler Yamamoto. Now, home back to what the Oilers did at practice there today, where they're shooting pucks at him, having a big laugh, and just really enjoying the moment, building up a teammate who has had a very rough year. Right? You go back through everything that's happened since I posted that the Edmonton Oilers are not a real team video, right? A big time, shocking title from a guy that's so pro Oilers, said the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup at the start of the year, all that. Well, guess what? You know what? At the end of the day, the Oilers have, from there to here, come all that way and have become a team that is so scary because of what they are as a team. Teammates, a group, a locker room, a coaching staff, management, compared to the team they were in December. And I don't know. The question needs to be asked, right? I can talk about building up Kyler Yamamoto. I can talk about all this. But what it really is to me, this is what a real team looks like. And this is what a championship team is made of, right? Every guy going out there, purposely building each other up, purposely playing their best hockey for each other, rolling line after line, going out there to achieve the same dang objective, win the hockey game each after another. And that's what I'm just absolutely blown away with this Oilers team at this point is, I don't know. You know, a lot of people would say, well, the Oilers have a pretty good chance to win the Stanley Cup because they have Connor McDavid. The Oilers have a pretty good chance to win the Stanley Cup because Boston's no longer around. The Oilers have a pretty good chance to win the Stanley Cup because they don't have to face Colorado in the Western Conference semifinals. I will tell you, the Oilers have the best chance to win the Stanley Cup because of what kind of team they are and the group of individuals that have formed this group of teammates that I must say, you know what, I am very dang impressed with. And I think it's only going to get more special, right? You think about it, go into game number 6 if you have a chance to eliminate Vegas, and Vinny Desharnais scores his first ever NHL goal in overtime to win the series. Imagine what the showering of love from the teammates would look like then. Imagine if Stuart Skinner gets a shutout in game 1 against the Vegas Golden Knights. And I mean, not just a cheap one where he gets 20 saves, didn't have to work. I mean, one of those steal you a hockey game, goalie kind of games, right? Imagine that. Imagine a guy like Matthias Janmark returns from injury and scores a hat trick to seal the deal in game 1, right? All kinds of storylines here. But the Edmonton Oilers, I know no matter what, whoever plays hero, they will all step up and make sure that hero, just as we will, the fans will, make sure he is appreciated and loved for the time being until that next hero is needed for the Oilers next time out. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. This has been a fun little nostalgic look back at where we've been to where we've come to where we still got to go. Starting off Wednesday night, game number 1, round 2 against the Vegas Golden Knights. If you're new to the channel, like I said, I want you back here for that. The live stream will be out tomorrow and we'll be all good and dandy. But if you're returning to the channel, hey, you know how much fun we had in game number 6. You know how much fun we had all throughout the series. And this is a little nugget I'll throw in here at the end for you. Friends, game 4, the live stream in game 4 just did the impossible. Almost 6 years since my best live stream ever. Now, game 4 is rated here on YouTube as the most viewed Dolynny TV live stream ever in the history of the channel. Almost 10 years. So thank you so much for that. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Until we talk tomorrow, I am up on out of here.